Okay, my Straight Talk family. Chico is out and Ian Patch's live is in. And it's time for me to bid you all in St. Kitts and Nevis a very pleasant night, wherever you are. Also, to those in the entire Caribbean region. To my Straight Talk family in the Kittitian and Liberian diaspora, those who are logged on to the World Wide Web. I know that some of you are in Africa, some of you are in Asia, some of you are in Europe, and there are a whole lot of you all over North America. So I am at liberty to say, I can say good morning, and in some cases I can say good afternoon, because one of such greetings will be applicable to the region in which you now find yourselves. My Straight Talk family, we're coming tonight from Studio 2, and it's time to say a special welcome to our first-timers. We normally have first-timers, and just to inform you that Straight Talk is a public service program that facilitates and promotes free expression on all issues of national interest, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On Straight Talk, you do have a forum to express yourselves freely. Let us, in the process, continue to keep St. Kitts and Nevis as one of the freest countries in the entire world. On this program, we try to raise the level of national consciousness. We try to raise the level of national discourse by alerting our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly to their obligations. Did I say it before? If not, my name is Ian Patches Liburd, and I give Almighty God thanks for blessing me with another opportunity to join you in conversation on yet another occasion. And for the first timers, just to apprise you as well that Straight Talk is a participative program. By that I mean we include your calls, we include your emails. If you're so minded to call, the numbers are 465-2555 and or 718-577-2916. Our email contact is zizgraighttalk@gmail.com. I want to take the opportunity to extend condolences to those who have lost loved ones. I know the quite a few people who have gone to the great beyond, and I wish their families, their friends, condolences to all. I also want to wish my dear friend Dolores Hobson from St. Peter's, or is it Monkey Hill? Dolores, I wish you a happy belated birthday for Christmas and going well. I wish you many, many more to come. And for all those who are celebrating as well, I wish you a happy Earth Day, as some people would say. I also as well want to remind you that we are still in a COVID-19 situation. And the report as of yesterday, Wednesday, we saw the cases fluctuating. Yesterday, 76 cases, 76 positive cases, or confirmed cases I should say, or identified. I'll also like to look at the other statistic, which is the vaccine rollout as well, uh, which is just hovering about 82%, and that's the first doses, and second doses 76.3% to be exact. But my straight dog family, tonight I wish to discuss or address, with your indulgence, of course, I wish to address issues, namely, and in this order: one, the ugliest DJ in St. Kitts Nevis, or a matter of fact, perhaps the ugliest DJ in the Caribbean, who shall be nameless. It's for you to guess. And I'm sure it won't be difficult, because I do not believe in calling his name on this program. It's not worthy to be called. The second issue I would address is there's a soundbite that seemed to have gone viral on social media and on different platforms, in which a well-known pastor and my friend is imploring some parliamentarians, or parliamentarians I should say, or some parliamentarians, I'm correct, and all of us, I believe, to quote-unquote bite our tongues. The third and more perhaps at the more substantive issue is the peace initiative. With respect to the first issue, for some time now, I have been receiving many messages from many friends and supporters about this DJ. But I deliberately chose to ignore them until yesterday. A very, very good friend of mine sent me a WhatsApp message in which it read, and she asks, Patches, why it is you do this DJ, calling his name? Because literally every day he on the radio cussing him. She continued, how come he don't answer he ugly so and so? That's not language for the radio. I said to my friend that lots of people have told me about this idiot, but I do not argue with fools. That has always been my position. Because men warned us that to argue with a fool, you will have to stoop to their level, and they will beat you with experience. She agreed with me. But she reminded me, lo and behold, of ugly men from St. Kitts, Pastoral and Melody. How many of us are old enough to remember Pastoral and Melody? Then we had this debate as to whether he was uglier than both of them. Imagine. We laughed, we talked, but we, however, agreed on one thing. Pastoral and Melody have gone to the great beyond. May their souls rest in peace. So since Pastoral and Melody is dead, we agreed that there's only one ugly man left in St. Kitts. Do you know this man? When you look at, and he's a DJ, but let me clear the decks. When you look at Ronnie Rascal, GQ, Chico, Sugar Bowl, and the list goes on, but all of them are handsome DJs, even talk show hosts as well. Liburd is a handsome talk show host. So it's not difficult to conclude that this DJ and talk show host is the ugliest DJ and talk show host on St. Kitts, and maybe perhaps throughout the Caribbean region. And I bet my bottom dollar, if my grandmother was still alive, she would say something like, by this DJ uglier than sin. For that reason, perhaps, he has to make up for his deficiency in looks and poor intellect by cussing people and using profanity. My friend and I also agreed that we would leave this ugly DJ and talk show host at the foot of the cross. That brings me to the second issue, which will be a pastoral instruction given to some parliamentarians and party faithful who recently worshipped at his church in St. Kitts. I concur with the pastor, who is my friend, and for years I've all enjoyed his sermons. So I concur when he opined that we must all act responsibly. I agreed wholeheartedly with that.
We have to move away from this our country that they did it so I could do it. No. We need men of steel, men and women of steel and integrity. You are responsible to chart a new course for young people, for children. Don't tell me not about they did it so I should do it. No, 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 no. You must be responsible. And that is critically important. And so I want us to understand that we have a responsibility, all of us. And I pray that we would take that seriously.
And yes, we have to take it seriously, especially for the young ones. 65% of our people are youngsters. They are the future leaders of tomorrow. So we must set them good examples. And having been there myself, I also agree that all politics is local.
Nobody cares how much cruise ship come. To vote for constituency representative.
Yes, I lost that somebody, but yes, all politics are local. I fully agree with that. I agree as well that sometimes we humble ourselves and say that we are sorry.
We want to encourage you when you mess up. Say you are sorry and you're wrong. Just say it and move on. Because sorry may help with a mistake, but we have to be careful about the trust. The trust. We cannot take for granted. We live in a different age. We would want people to forget things. But social media don't allow you to forget it. And then we have. You can't say you didn't say it. You can't say you didn't do it. Social media gonna remind you. And people will dig it up and bring it back. So you gotta make sure that you are careful with what you do.
And say you're sorry. Where I find myself at variance, somewhat though, with my friend and pastor, is in his instruction to bite your tongue. And my friend and pastor is saying, even though you are right, you must bite your tongue. Imagine that.
Bite your tongue. As leaders, you have to bite your tongue. I bite my tongue a lot. Sometimes I'm ready to just let go some real gunshots. And then I had to just bite my tongue. right? I got to bite my tongue. I have to remember that if I say that, then it will be held against Pastor Connor. And my ministry affected. You got to remember that. A lot of times I'm in the right. I know I'm in the right. I know I'm in the right. And I want to blow off their head. But I say, how that going to play Sunday when I go up to preach? And I bite my tongue.
Bite me tongue instead of blowing off the head or firing gunshots. I don't think the pastor really meant that though. I think instead of ratting them. So I'm at variance with my friend and pastor. Because in our young days, growing up in St. Kitts, Nevis, and we all had a religious upbringing. We went to church every Sunday, which I still do. And some of us had to go to 2 or 3 Sunday schools. I went to Moravian Sunday School. I had to go down to Hope Chapel, as my grandmother was a Methodist and superintendent and in charge of the women's group. And I also had to go to Miss Richardson's Sunday School there on George Street. But interestingly, when we reached home from Sunday school, we had to recite Bible verses. Because Granny wanted to make sure that you went to Sunday school. So what's the Bible verse you were taught? And I therefore recall my earlier biblical instruction to rebuke those who were wrong or who have sinned, the Bible says. And I know that there are many pastors who listen to Straight Talk, and I invite any one of them to call and correct me if I'm wrong. Because the Bible says in Proverbs chapter 7 or 27, that should be, chapter 5 and verse 6, they quote, "Open rebuke is better than secret love." It goes on like this: "Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful." Mark you, someone is wrong and you're right, you do not have to rat them, to use that familiar slang. You do not have to rat them, but you should not make them believe that they're right. Or she or he or she is right because you don't want to rat them or rat him or her. As the Bible says, you who are spiritual should restore him in a spirit of gentleness. I think that comes from Galatians. But little I know, though, we are all instructed. I think it's Timothy, not the Prime Minister. Timothy in the Bible, when Paul wrote to Timothy, he asked him to rebuke them before all, that others also may fear. And Living Translation, I like this one: reprimand them in front of the whole church. This will serve as a strong warning to others. So it is based on all these Bible or biblical instructions that I find myself at variance with my friend and pastor to bite my tongue. So let us rebuke that in the name of Jesus Christ, because the Bible tells us that we can do all things through Christ who gives strength. My Straight Talk family. The third and final, and I said earlier, substantive issue I will address tonight, we'll say tonight as well, relates to the peace initiative in St. Kitts and Nevis. Now, what prompted me to address this issue is the content of a book that has been making the rounds on social media. And I believe what was said must be taken seriously. And this is what was said by Straight Talk family.
Blessed man. We all know Timo is the only man really behind the peace treaty here. The other man them ain't give a monkeys about the peace man them here. So now, you got CCM and you got Pam trying to sabotage the peace man them with them payment. Trying to make Timo look bad. Big man, I'll stop it here.
And that's something
to I'll check.
to
Timo is the only man for the peace man them here.
taken seriously. Has to be. And we will. My Straight Talk family. Because when we reflect, there was a systematic approach taken towards the peace initiative in St. Kitts and Nevis. And this initiative has since created an unparalleled period of tranquility, peace in the country, in the Twin Island Federation. Well-known accomplished journalist Stanford Conway, whom I have not seen for some time, but he wrote an article on sknvibes.com way back in 2019 that read, and I quote, "While there are differences in opinion as to the method employed in the peace initiative to curb gang violence in St. Kitts and Nevis, the fact remains that success was achieved and kudos must be bestowed all those who contributed to this historic phenomenon." He went on, "Why historic?" The article continued, "Since the formation of gangs in St. Kitts and Nevis, it has been the first time in the Federation's history that 30 illegal firearms and 73 rounds of assorted ammunition were voluntarily handed over to St. Kitts and Nevis police force by gang members. And mark you, again, peace initiatives are nothing new and can be found in countries all around the world. They came from neutral government. They came from private citizens and the belligerents themselves. In the case of St. Kitts Nevis, the proposal came from the gangs themselves. Some initiatives are aimed at a separate peace between two of the contending states, some at a general statement to end the war altogether, and some confusingly involved parties seeking both a separate and a general peace at the same time. Now, the peace initiative in St. Kitts was into February 2019. It involved the approval of an alternative lifestyle pathway fund that included the engagement of at-risk and marginalized individuals in properly structured legitimate. That particular fund is still administered by the Development Bank. As a matter of fact, it started this way.
The strategy involved started on the 13th of March 2019, and it's commonly referred to, as you know, as the Peace Initiative. We started, first of all, with approximately 70 persons involved, and that quickly blossomed over time to some 800 persons today. We offer quite a number of opportunities for the at-risk groups. Project development, business opportunities, they can access loans. A lot of them are into apprenticeships at this particular moment in time. They are the normal work routines, learning trades, and for obviously educational opportunities and the like. Persons who have been on for some time and who have accessed these opportunities have now started to move off the program to take up or to spend more time in the actual business venture that they have adopted.
Yes, family. And this is being administered, this alternative lifestyle path fund is being administered, I'm advised again, by the Development Bank of St. Kitts, Nevis. Some people have issues with that, but it has been working as far as my information has informed me. I was trying to find that information relates to the particular bank, as I said, in terms of that peace treaty and the administration of that particular fund. But I'll get back to that, I'm sure, before we finish the program tonight. But this particular fund provides finance and capital and technical assistance needed by the poor, disadvantaged, and marginalized groups. It generates maximum employment opportunities and fosters a culture of business, ownership, industriousness, legitimate endeavors amongst the target groups. So I find it hard to believe that parties, political parties, will sabotage the peace initiative. But a friend of mine told me once that politics is about war without blood. And in battle or in war, you must always know what you are going up against. In this case, the opposition is a master. The opposition in St. Kitts is the master of lies, deceit, deception, evil, destruction. And when we look back at 1995 to 2015 with over 300 homicides in St. Kitts Nevis, some may conclude that the opposition is also the master of death. They have no limits, no age barrier. They just do not care. They can and will use anything at their disposal to limit the government from delivering its promises to the people. The last thing they want is for the government to be out of office. And how could I forget to inform you that Prime Minister Mia Mottley last night had another clean sweep when she went back to the polls. She thought the government, the people were divided, so she went back to the polls. And here in St. Kitts, the people are divided, but no need to go back to the polls. Because as I said last time, the Westminster system is an anchor for division amongst political parties. My straight dog family, we have to be careful. Be careful about wrong versus right, but don't tell me if you're wrong, I must make you feel you're right. I must bite my tongue. No, I have a difficulty with that. Real difficulty I have with that.
Greetings to you, brother.
Greetings, my brother.
I wish you the best. You and your program, a health program, and I pray you continue educating the nation and the world with your topics. We have to remember, native by nature is gifted to think freely, But in order that this free thought should lead him to the goal of liberty and independence, his way of thinking must be shaped by the process of education. Mr. Patches?
Sound words.
Yes. Thank you. Mr. Patches, charity begins at home. And you outline a very positive platform tonight concerning Pan-Africanism, Martin Luther King, and we talk about social unity. But you stem it very well to start it, charity begins at home. And it's so true. Mr. Patches, we are living in spiritual times. You may hear some person say, blame the ministers, or we should get a different system, etc., etc. But life is either right or wrong.
Right or wrong, there's no biting of the tongue. We don't have to wrap them, but we must rebuke them. And my straight dog family, I say, in war, we must know who we are fighting against. And I am very cautious to believe that someone would sabotage a program that has ensured that we can go about the business without looking over our shoulder morning, noon, and night.
Blessed morning. We all know Timo is the only man really behind the peace treaty here. The other man them ain't give monkeys that man them here. So now, you got CCM and you got Pam trying to sabotage the peace man them with them payment. Trying to make Timo look bad. Big man, I'll stop it here. I'll stop it. We up to our check. Timo is the only man for the peace man them here.
The question I therefore ask before I go to the lines, my straight up family. Do we want peace or do we want war? Do we want our youths going back into those gangs? What do you want to see done with the peace initiative? Those are just some preliminaries. You may have your own questions, my straight dog family. But I raised two substantive issues and I advance a particular position. That is my story, and I am not going to change it. So I'll go to the lines and entertain your calls and your emails at 22 minutes before the 9 o'clock hour. I always must implore you to respect yourselves. And of course, to achieve that, you must respect others, rather, and to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to be fair to all concerned. Let us try to build goodwill and better friendships. Let us ensure that the things we say and or do will be beneficial to all concerned. And in the process of saying and or doing those things, let us strive to build a kinder, gentle St. Kitts and Nevis. Remember, our mantra for 2022 is we're going to talk the truth. Talk the truth. The truth will set you free. I'll go to the lines, my straight dog family, and say good night to this caller who are live on Straight Talk. On Straight Talk. On Straight Talk. On Straight Talk. Hello, caller. Okay, seem to have missed that caller. Are you there, caller? Are you there, caller? Are you there? Okay. Just turn your radio down, listen to your phone, and tell the world what's on your mind. You're live.
Good night, Patrick.
Good night, sir.
Patrick, this is the red cap here. You know me, Andrew, airport.
How are you, Andrew?
Yeah, hi. Patrick, something on my mind right now. It's troubling me. It's really troubling me, right? And I really want to know. As a national thinker, I want to know. ZIZ is owned by who? I want to answer this question, but when you hang up, when I hang up, I want to answer this question. ZIZ is owned by who? That's one. Now, Carlton DuPont being said he wants to pay for a program on ZIZ. Now, he's paying for a program he's saying. And it seems like he's getting in a lot of trouble to pay for a program on ZIZ. If we saying, okay, we campaign that we're going to be for all. Remember that's what we say, you know. We're not going to victimize anybody, we're going to be for all. DuPont would be part of the campaigning process, actually, with the unity concept, right? And DuPont can't even get a show on ZIZ. I mean, he went to all kind of things. He talked to this person, and he being pushed around, and I mean, like a fool, actually. I don't think that if we're going to be different, this is a good way to act here, because I'm going to tell you why. Yeah, why? DuPont with a campaign, because DuPont does speak his mind. I think that DuPont being in a bad light. But you see, when DuPont was talking about labor, it was a good thing. But now, he's talking about what? Because DuPont always say, you know, when he sees something wrong, he will speak on it. He always say that, and you've got to give him credit for that. He said, if things not going right, he will speak on it. And he's doing the same thing now. So how now it was right then? And I hear Sylvie Henry say thing, you know, we can't get away in this country, you know, because, you know, why? He can't be wrong on one side and right on one side, you know. I mean, if he's wrong on the other side, no, we say we're going to be for all, but, I mean, that DuPont can't get Sean ZIZ. If he's paying his money, it's a national station. It's a national station of the country, actually. DuPont should be able to get a show on that, because we say we got full democracy. But it's sure that we don't have that, because DuPont can't get a show there. It shows that if we're not talking in a certain line, we've been victimized. So tell me why DuPont can get a time when he could do a show there. Number two, now, you know anything about the situation with Lindsey Grant, actually, with the police officer with breaching protocol? I don't know. If you know any information, maybe can you explain to the public, actually, what's going on? Because people wondering, nobody's saying anything, everybody just holding on like they run in the household. They're not acting like it's a country they're running, they're acting like they run in the household. So we need to really know. And if we say it's going to be different, we can be cheating. And the man who campaign, but because the man seeing it different now because of how things going, the man is speaking out. So why he's the baddest thing in town now? He should not be like that. We got to be fair. We must not be so one-sided, and not when the ball in our court, we say, oh, he's good. And then when it's our court and the person says, boy, you're going wrong, you know, we say any bad. He can't walk patches. We need to be consistent, and I'm not seeing that. Look at what happened the other day with parks and beaches. I mean, the people crying out that they went, they talked to this person, and nobody paying attention, you know. And I also went on to sing a song saying that politicians will be by your doorstep morning, noon, and night. But when you got a situation, nobody's studying you, because you see what happened, they don't win the election. Mark Wilkin, he talked about, I'm not Mark Wilkin, my name. Charles Wilkin talked about a lot of, he did do the commentary. We talk about a lot of things in opposition that we want to fix it, we want to do this, we want to do that. And now we get in government, we're not doing anything, so it's sure that we only wanted to get in by the same old khaki pants. Have a nice evening. I would like to get an answer. I will listen.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Well, before
Hello.
I take the call, okay, go ahead, caller.
Hello.
Yes, you're live.
Yes. Hello.
Turn your radio off. Turn your radio equipment down.
Okay. The matter is under investigation, and you cannot go into that.
Okay. Okay, well, I answered the second question. She probably looked at my script. I know the commissioner of police said the matter is being investigated, and I believe the processes, if they are going to file charges, I stand to be corrected. Normally, the police would consult with the director of public prosecutions, which is an independent office, and the director of public prosecutions will no doubt determine whether to prosecute or not to prosecute. He has an authority in in of his position. In relation to uh, your first question, Andrew, and I'm happy that people can speak out, and that's what straight talk is all about, you know. But to answer your question, ZSZ is statutory corporation run by a board of directors. Do believe I've never seen the memorandum of articles under an association, I think it's called. But the sole subscriber is the government of St. Kitts and Nevis. But so it will be difficult to respond to what you said about DuPont and being unable to get onto ZZ radio to pay for ZZ radio. I do pay. I pay for ZZ and I try to keep current at all times. So it's difficult for me to respond to things that Carlton Liburd purportedly have said about not being able to access ZIZ radio. That's the question beyond me, but that's the only way I can understand it. And this is what Straight Talk is all about. We're not going to stifle discussion, actions. And the second one, as I said, was responded to. It's 13 before 9. Caller, thank you for holding you alive. Yes, caller? Caller, you live.
Greetings in the name of our great African ancestors, especially the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey and Queen and Zinga. Blessed evening, my beloved African brother. How are you? How the family?
Peaceful, we're peaceful. And you and your family?
Good, man. Good. Beloved. No, beloved. First, let me say congratulations again to the great Mia Motley, Prime Minister of Barbados and Barbados Labour Party. Oh, you know, great sister. But that's for another time, beloved. Now, beloved, this thing is bothering me. If a financially poor African person do all kind of things to the police, any police officer or officers, man, swift justice or injustice in this case, you know, from any part of the Federation. It don't take 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, unless it's a complicated case, like a murder case or something like that, a rape case, something. But brother, when certain people, especially people who got money and who have political power and are a member of cabinet in any administration, this thing not just started, you know, beloved brother. This thing started decades ago. More than 2 decades. I will say at least about four decades ago, beloved. They don't seem, if any prosecution don't seem to happen, they just dry it out, and hope that the public will forget. But we have come a long way. And these kinds of things should not happen in any civilized and just society. Got to call it like it is and let the chips fall where they may. beloved brother. I don't hear people say when somebody, any poor person, financially poor person, let have some shot. I don't hear nobody say, oh, it's under investigation, it's under this, it's under that. No. Oh, hang him high. When I say hang him high, not literally. Bring down fire and brimstone and him, beloved brother. No, but when rich people, politically connected, and have all kind of strengths to pull in society, I'm talking about St. Kitts Nevis now. No, take forever. Brother, we can't do this kind of thing. I'm against that. And any administration condone that, beloved brother Patches. I'm not saying, I'm looking, I'm watching, not just me, other people too cannot support anything like that, beloved brother. Cannot. Because what is good for the goose is good for the gander. What is supposed to be good for poor people, financially poor people, supposed to be thing for anybody else. Whether you're rich, you have political power, political connection, whether you're a member of cabinet, minister of government, rules apply, and they're not supposed to apply to anybody, any one of us, beloved, any one of us, and can't slow down process, man. Cannot. So, that case with him, everybody know who he is, beloved brother. Let the chips fall with the man. Let justice, real justice, reign supreme, just like how ordinary person, financially poor, who ain't got no money, who do this and do that, and politically connected, beloved brother, let the chips fall with the man. And I hope no one is stifling investigation or prosecution, beloved. Can't deal with that in a 2022. No, man. Justice is justice. What was wrong in the boy from St. Paul? What we fought for, beloved. And the same thing is done, or even worse. It is right. It was wrong then, and it is wrong now. And we cannot deal with them kind of things. What was wrong? We got to make right, beloved. We got to make right. Can't say, oh, because I support three-party thing. No, man. What you was calling for? Calling for justice. You're calling for transparency. You're calling for, good things, righteous things. Let us do the right thing and let righteousness prevail in our sector of society. And in this case, I'm talking about St. Kitts Nevis, beloved. I don't care who said this and said that. Oh, I date with me barn. I date with my neighbor Stringberry. Whether I live there or not, no one, whether they live in St. Kitts Nevis, have more rights than Brother Nabu. I have the same rights like any African person who was born in St. Kitts Nevis, regardless of where he or she born. Where he or she lives, beloved. So, brother, I hope justice is done. I don't want no witch hunt. Investigation, prosecution is warranted. Take it to the DPP and let the DPP do the right thing. If you don't, people should mount demonstration, man. You can't live like this no more, man. Wrong is wrong and right is right. Brother, I've said a mouthful. Continue to listen. Keep up the great works. Pan-Africanism and perish. One love, my beloved brother.
One love, my brother. I don't think anyone can dispute the position that you have taken. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you're live. It's 6 before 9.
Okay, hold on a minute, please.
Will do.
Good evening. Now, I heard a caller made a comment about my good friend, my brother, which is Liburd, Roy Carlton Dupont. Now, I don't think nobody is refusing him to go on ZIZ. They just don't have a spot for him what he wants. So when they get a spot, I think he will be able to go there and conduct himself properly. He will be able to go there. They can give him a spot. But if he go up there and he ain't conduct himself properly, they're gonna put him out the same way. Up there is not for nigger business. Up there is an international broadcasting station owned by the government. It's not for nigger business. You're begging people $5, $2, $1, and all kind of thing. You as a multi-millionaire to go on the radio to propaganda people business and all them kind of thing. Up there is not for that. It's not for that. My friend have to conduct himself as a human being before he could get in them position. He was on the radio station and you start them nonsense. Abusing and they get rid of him off for them. So I don't understand why you on the air.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Because you seem to be saying two things. I understand the nigger business, but are you saying that there is not a spot for his program on ZIZ? That's what you're saying?
That is what they told him. He have a letter from them saying that they do not have a spot available for him. But soon as the spot become available, they will let him know. But what I am saying to him as a good friend and like a brother, he gonna have to conduct himself in proper manner. He gonna have to conduct himself in a proper manner when he go up there. Are they gonna take his money and turn right off for the year and he ain't gonna get back his money? So I don't see what the big noise about going up on ZIZ. You on the radio station right now talking a lot of ignorance and he working for you. Work with that. Work with that until you buy your own. I know a radio station around here to sell, two of them to sell. He's a multi-millionaire. He could buy any one of them. They're for sale. You know? So I don't see what the big deal about it that he wants to go up there when he doing ignorance on the other station and getting away with it. You know? So that is just my input. But Mr. Patrick, I want to ask you something. Over at Port Zante, who there belongs to? Government or is a private owner?
When you say Port Zante?
Port Zante. You was in charge of Port Zante before. Is it a private owner, i.e. owned by government?
If you're referring to the UDC.
Okay. You want to continue and then you could answer?
Go ahead.
When I was over at Port Zante in the Ollies, it was between Matalan and the government. I think it's the Chinese or the Taiwanese or what they is. Pay off Matalan and Matalan sail out with all the equipment and so on and the money what he get from the government for them. So the government own 100% there. But right now, I need to understand it's a private place owned over there. But if it's a private place, why you got all them step workers walking over there? And getting the step money instead of getting the big money what they're supposed to get. It's not fair. You understand me? It's not fair. And why you harassing people over there? You got the marina is empty. No yacht, nothing at all is in there. Nothing is doing over there. Fourth Street is faster than Port Zante right now. And people are just getting harassment over there. You understand me? I see some people walking over there. They say, I'm going to build a tower over the, a thing house over there. Less than, it's smaller than a low-income house. Right? Like one of them low-income half a hundred my partner Dougie used to build. And I hear it costs almost $250,000. I don't know if you hear about it. So, you could look into it because they was over there investigating it today. Okay. So you answer me now who Port Zante belongs to, sir?
Yeah, I'll answer you. Just free up the line. I'll hear.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And just before I take the call, it's a pertinent question, right? And perhaps we can reflect a little bit on how Port Zante came about. Yes, you mentioned when Matalan, right, entered into a public-private partnership with the government of the day, the Simmons administration. They were given the seabed rights, I think, but they reclaimed some 25 acres of land and sold the land to recover the capital, the expenditure they engaged or made. Now, sometime in the late 90s, I think it was, government of the day, that is the Douglas administration, not the Taiwanese. The Douglas administration, through a loan from the then Scotia Bank, paid out Matalan and now owns the UDC, which is another statutory corporation, government statutory corporation run by a board, the UDC. But remember, UDC sold all the lands on Port Zante. There are some lands still available, but lots of private property exists on Zante. I hope that answers your question. I want to thank the caller for holding. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller. Yes, caller. Yes, you're live.
Hello.
Yes, you're live.
Yeah. I got something to say. I will talk about
turn off your radio. Turn off your radio.
Okay.
I want the whole world to hear you.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Getting a feedback.
Yes. Let's move away from your radio equipment.
I get the feedback. I'll call back. I get the feedback.
Yes, lock your radio off.
Yeah.
And talk to your telephone.
Yeah. Okay. How come I congratulate monthly, right? The lady in Barbados, right? He got so much people who should let them vote. And if Liburd want to go to the station, tell Liburd to believe one station. You listen to me?
I heard you loud and clear.
Yeah, Liburd to believe one station if you want to go to the station. And the DJ you like to talk, he not only ugly, you know. He oily, skin oily. Good night.
Who did you that you're talking about? Good night, my brother. It's 4 past the 9 o'clock hour. We go straight back to the lines. Caller, you're live. Yes, caller?
Yes, good evening, Patrick. I'm listening to you.
Good evening.
voice. So I must stop do that to you. As a politician to argue with that. Can you make the children them go through those kind of hate speech? Anyway, here you give a lot of cake mixed to them. And somebody tell me they're going to give me a piece of cake. Because me not going to cake mixed up, but they tell them, and you pity for them who vote up there for. And looking at Sankis, right? Them park and beaches, they stand with the problem to say that the people that ain't helping. But nobody's supposed to go for nobody work as a man and looking voice from woman. Nobody's telling nobody. Yes, and some humans right too. But then with that, when we understand the ministers them, as the ministers instruct them.
Yes, Steve. Yeah, but thank you. Thank you very much. You have to be cautious with your language there, my Labour friend. Remember, you're not down the road or down the bay talking, and maybe have to keep this at a particular level. Please, let's go back to the lines. Caller, thank you for holding you alive.
Mr. Patel,
How are you, the Bible man?
I'm fine. Why I feel I hear something this week. I must say yesterday, and I said to myself, I said to myself, I wonder if I must really open it or leave it alone. But, you is a godly man. And you know that God look after you. But when I hear about so that's it. I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you know that in 2025 that the person who gonna run in his party, and it?
Say that again now. Repeat that, Bellman.
In 2025 election, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I understand up to yesterday because the people that was on Freedom FM, and the big man for the party said that this lawyer girl is going to run. They don't got the candidate for East Bastille. And I said, it hit me hard because I said to myself, I'm going to ask you the question. So, and I know you're still a Pam. So, I'd like to know, if you don't want to say it on the ear, is it still all right with me? But you are going to run in East Bastille 2025 if the Lord win and I will live.
The Bible man. Some people, or many people, have come to me, and they have said without any doubt whatsoever that wherever I am going, they are coming with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I have said to them, and I'll say it publicly again, I am not going anywhere, leave my people of East Bastille, especially in the fact that I have some unfinished tasks to complete. That's my answer.
Well, Mr. Patrick, you know, I can tell you something. You know that the Bible man love you. And you know that the Bible man realizes you go good. And the Bible man is praying for Ian Patrick Liburd. And I am saying to you, put your confidence wholly and solely in God. And rest it there. And let God have you. And asking daily that to give you strength and health for the journey. It is God does things. And I always said, Mr. Patrick, is God put up and God bring down. The Bible says promotion that can neither come from east nor west. Promotion come from above. So I am telling you, I heard with my 2 ears that Sean Richards said they have the representative for each party already. And so, you is a wise man. You is an understanding man. And you know what best you want. And I'm going to tell you something, you know. And it is true. Because you're linked yourself with the Prime Minister, a lot of people don't like you. And I understand is that the reason why you lose the faith. But the Lord have it to do that the Lord put it in a way in the Prime Minister. You get a big, wonderful job. God do that. And every single day of your life, when you get up, give God thanks and praise and thank the Lord for the Prime Minister. Because if it wasn't for God first and the Prime Minister, they wanted to walk with your hand on your head like a momo. But God in heaven direct the Prime Minister to give you a job. And listen here, do not take on nobody on the mock. Today, somebody lift you up. This afternoon, this morning lift you up. This afternoon, that's why you don't hear me. Listen to the Bible man. The health of man is in vain. Without God, are not going away. So, Mr. Patrick, put your confidence in the Lord, and God is going to see you through. And God, ask God question, what you have time still, what you must do before 2025. So, listen, put it in a God hand, Mr. Patrick. Do not take it out of God's hand. Let God direct you on what to do. And that is all I have to tell you tonight. And I'm going to tell you something. Be strong. Don't take it on. Be strong. God is going to look after you. The Bible says,
okay.
The Bible says, blessed is a man that considereth the poor. In the time of trouble, the Lord shall deliver. You look after the poor people in East Bastille so well and so good. And up to this present moment, they are, right now, they feel like a fish out of water because they ain't getting the treatment that's what they're supposed to get. So, Patrick, have a pleasant night, and if I get in the time, I will come back. Stay strong, Mr. Patrick. All the best.
The best. My son said that to me as well. Stay strong. Let's go back to the lines. Call. You alive? Let's keep our eye at the time.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
And how are you, sir?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
Long time I haven't heard your voice, long time I haven't called in. But I decided to call in, and I listen to the Bible, man. You know what he's telling you, dear? He's saying to you, don't be ungrateful to the Prime Minister. But you always said, you follow your heart.
Okay, that was clear and concise, straight to the point. We go back to the lines. Call your line.
That is Red Cap, Andrew.
Yes, Andrew.
I know I asked you a question about Lindsey Grant. If you had any information about the breaching the Viral protocol, actually, for the COVID task force and so on. But Patrick,
I did respond to your question.
That you're being honest with a lot of things with ZIZ, because ZIZ is a government station and Japan with a campaign and so on. It's not showing a good message that, okay, even me who go and have like maybe Viber doing, if I'm doing a business to go there, it doesn't give me a good impression. So you have to be really careful. And you didn't answer the question with Lindsey Grant. I want to get an answer on that, but I think that sometimes when a person sees life different, the person see things different in terms of where you all going, if you all going on wrong, what you all should just try to do different and try to be right. Because
Caller, can I say something to you? Can I say something to you?
Go ahead. You want to ask me a question? Go ahead.
I want to respond to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
You mentioned Lindsey Grant matter.
Yes.
And I said that the matter, according to the Commissioner of Police, is being investigated. What other answer do you want me to make?
No, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear.
Question.
Maybe you said it, but I didn't hear. Apologize on that. That's fine.
Thank you. The other question about ZIZ. ZIZ, as I said, is owned by the government. It is a statutory corporation run by a board. So your question be addressed to the board. Why should I respond to what Liburd is saying?
Okay. Let me say something. Now, DuPont. I'm saying DuPont is saying now that he needed. Okay, and what's not. Okay, but here what I'm saying. Okay, I understand you don't have to respond. You don't. But I'm saying if DuPont was talking about
I don't have to respond. What should I say?
I mean, he could have gone the ear. He would have gone the ear and he would have talked all what he wants to say about how he wants is good. But when you're going on a wrong road, that's what I'm saying, Patrick, if he was talking good about him, he could have a show there. But because he's saying what he's seeing is wrong, he can't get there. Is he wrong? How can I say?
But you must agree that you're speculating. I mean, I understand Jupan. Someone said Jupan got a letter. So let Jupan read the letter and see what the letter says. If there's no spot on ZIZ, for example, if I recall, he comes on either 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning, right? I can't get up those times. Once ago, I would wait up and hear Jupan when he played his music years ago, right? ZIZ, as far as I know, have some spiritual religious early in the morning. Jazzy D, Springett, Pastor, what's the name? My good friend Agato and G's. So I don't know. I really don't know. But that question should be addressed to ZIZ. If he's paying the money and they're saying they don't have a spot, what or not we can do? Should we make a spot for him? displace somebody else? Well, let's go back to the lines. Caller, you are live. Hello, caller. Okay, seem to have missed that call. This email reads, Patches, there are a number of comedians who join the ugly DJ to talk nothing more than foolishness. Imagine the big lies going on freedom to tell the Prime Minister how to run government, but he has a 2x2 bar in Keon and cannot even manage it properly. He ran up his electricity so much that he had problems. Can't run a bar shop, but want to direct the Prime Minister how to run the government. Real comedians, they are, reads that email. This other email reads, Oh, Dwyer, just shut up and keep your crooked mouth out of parks and beaches business. Nothing about you is genuine. Just recall how bad you treated when you were the minister. Your treatment was worse than Bill. Remember how you recommended some of us to various business institutions for jobs because of our education and qualifications. But double back on us and told the employees that we are dangerous criminals and they must not say. You say and don't ever mention your name. So don't use our stand to capitalize on your planned protests to bring down the government, for you just cannot be trusted, reads that email. When I listen to Dwyer's fluent characterization of Dr. Drew, lauding him as the best with all the adjectives, how he's a caring, loving, bright, understanding, etc., I just shook my head and marveled. Hear that lying demon. Dwyer's robust support for Drew as leader of Labour and his pipe dream for him to become Prime Minister is just one of his psychopathic attitudes for the purpose of gaining some personal advantage. If Drew ever becomes Prime Minister, Dwyer is nothing but a political turncoat and traitor, as he was labelled by Douglas. He has referred to Edinburgh numerous times as a political prostitute, but ironically, Edinburgh, the catalyst who brought the change in the leadership of the St. Kitts Labour Party, has never faltered or innovated on his allegiance to Labour. But Dwyer has changed so many times. At one time he was half PAM, then the Labour, then he went PLP, then Unity, and now he jumped back to Labour. So who is the real political prostitute here? Ha ha, reads that email. And those are the views of the email, not necessarily the views of Straight Talk and or the host of Straight Talk. Let's go back to lines. Caller, you are live. Thank you for holding.
Good evening, Padres.
Good evening, sir.
I don't know if you're going to have the time, but I would like you to play a song for me when you're done by Joseph Hill, Culture and the Group, Jah Alone, a Christian. Okay? When you're done with that. Now, I want to say something here, Patrick. The law is the law, and no one is above the law. And nobody is supposed to operate like they're above the law. The law don't belong to nobody. The law belongs to the land. And anybody disrespect the law, they should be dealt with. I don't care who it is. Now, this thing what they're talking about, the minister. If it was Dr. Harris, what did they get in that kind of pocketry? The whole world will a ball in mother step down and do all of this thing here. I mean, they would have done one gun all over the place. Go see who they go get join with them. When Dr. Harris and Sam Kanda them, when they fall out, some of them don't went to buy new suit. So that we got him now. We got him. Let me join up with this and join up with that. But it's a good thing when they went to join up with the people them more sensible and smarter than them. And all people say, bitten once and shy twice. You can tell me you get your hand by the stove and you go back again, go touch it and behaving like that? I don't care who they be. When you wrong, you're wrong. When you're right, you're right. Let me go to ZZ now. My good friend, Mr. Jupant, many a times he called into your program, this program here. Sometimes he say he and he were driving and he had to stop after here. Some calls or some calls or something. Why is it Mr. Jupant can't call into your show and ask the questions? And he don't depend on a radio station. But you see, Mr. Jupant got to understand, nobody refusing him to go up a radio station. As long as you can pay your money and they have a spot for you, you're welcome there, Mr. Jupant. But look what I say, conduct is very important on a radio station. Conduct. You got to, every man has to conduct themselves. So there are certain things you don't say on a radio station. You don't do it. Not because he's saying something and where he is now and getting away with it. They know the reason why they're letting him say certain things. And other people, they know the reason why they're letting him say certain things on the radio station. They got to be careful with that. One of them who does go up on the radio station, he stood on the same radio station for things that was said about him on the radio station. So people got to be careful. Nobody refuses Mr. Jupan. He got a lot of money, pay your money, and then they will accept you. But they will tell you, you got to conduct yourself. When Sam Kondo was a minister of government, he went up there to say something and he couldn't get on the radio. They asked him to write his manuscript and give it to them, let them read it first before he got there. And he was a minister. And I know for sure, somebody had them, no bad word in it. And no derogative thing to disgrace the government. Some had to end up and win a firm to say what he had to say. So that's it, all I got to say about that. But I can tell you something, Patrice. It was a cussing competition. Uptown on a FM radio station. It was a cussing competition. Uptown on a FM radio station. One the cusser from down in the country. And he saw he big and black and ugly. So I went in close to hear what he said. But the oral hygiene almost killed me dead. I'll come back, Patches.
That's the straight talk king. He's the only one in the competition, uncontested. The People's King don't dare come alongside you. Let's go back to the lines at 9:27. Call you live. I wonder, my friend Casilda calls from a foxhole. But we never seem to understand what you're saying. Your connection is bad, and we apologize for the poor quality of your caller. We want to hear what you say. So get that telephone started out, Casilda. Caller, thank you for holding your live.
It is a pleasant good evening to you.
Good evening, my dear.
How are you? How are you?
I am looking at your dimples and I'm feeling good. How are you?
Okay. Yes. Why everybody calling in and speaking about Japan? Japan, they're good which party be. Because when he leave Sugar City Rock, he said he gone over in the Paris. So nobody's supposed to feel bad about Japan. And ZZ are going to have to be very careful if they give Japan a seat. Because that man there is a psychopath. The things and that he just talk on the radio, especially at morning time, before he plays some lovely gospel music, the things and what he just have on top the radio, oh no, a dog and all will refuse he. He did good which part he be. So don't he put red cap to his comment to say nothing for him. And while he over there, I would like him please, because when he was on Sugar City Rock, he used to play the tape with Sakoti. And the guy from Nevis, we want money, SIDF money. Then he played them 2 tunes there while he over there. Because when he was on Sugar City Rock, he was playing them a lot. So play them over there now with the party switch party gone. Keep him off of ZRZ, because if he go on ZRZ, he is going to put ZRZ in trouble. Let him stay where he be. Patches, you have a pleasant night. And Patches, let me ask you a question. When I come on top your show, and I said that you must build a school for the special ed them, am I calling anybody name? Well, you seem like we cap fit a certain person. As I say, a chummy corn, and the fowl they go out and pick it up. I don't call about your name. I only say you have to get a place for the special ed, because the operating like special ed. Have a pleasant night, Patches.
Thank you very much, my dear. So your corn, call no foul. Let's go back to the lines, call it
Yes,
live.
that is me. If Mr. Chipper was
That's better
losing
now.
labor, I would have run go and said, I said, when he was going down Church Street and losing labor when I had election in the all white and the Bible, I was laughing. So I appreciate Mr. Chipper, my friend, Mr. Chipper alone. See you.
Thank you very much. Well, my friend came out of the foxhole, so we heard her loud and clear just now. That's my good Labour friend from down west. We have been discussing, or I raised 3 issues, but let's go back to the lines and take this call. I'll come back to that. Call your line.
Okay, good night.
Good night, sir.
I'm not lady, right? Listen this joke, and that lady, right? She has been had a tell up a mountain like a dog, you know. You know what I say?
I'm trying to understand you, though.
I said, a lady. You're the starting for your show. Right?
Seem to have lost that caller, though. Yeah, but let's try again. Let's try and keep it clean, too. Let's go back to the lines. A matter of fact, for those who have just joined us, let's take this call. We'll come back to that. Call you live.
Yeah, good night.
Good night, sir.
I said, a lady, right? She has one had a tell up a mountain.
Watch it. Caller. Are you there, caller? Seem to have lost the caller. I want you to turn your... Yes, I got you, Mayor. I want you to turn your radio down in your call, right? And let's try to keep it clean as well, let's get away from the husband and wife issue. That's not what we do on Straight Talk. And though we digress quite a lot, because I encourage diversity, but we spoke of 2 major issues, though, and the last one in terms of the peace initiative. Before I wrap, I want to get your views on this peace initiative as well. But let's go back to the lines. You're live. Hello, caller. Yes, caller, you're live.
Greetings.
Greetings, my brother.
Blessed night to you, Mr. Ambassador, and good night to your listeners by radio internet. Basically, I just calling to follow up on a discussion I had with you the last time. I engaged with you on pertaining to the bucket uprising. Did you did any investigation?
What was the homework, Rasaya? I'm lost here. You gave me.
Yeah. Well, basically, give thanks still, but next week will be the 87th anniversary marking the bucket uprising. And as I stated when I talked to you the last time, that is very initiative to see that we have seen a committee established, and basically we're not seeing the genuine work carry out what the committee is supposed to be putting forward as a way that was said to have a commemoration.
The committee. Okay. Yeah.
So,
but weren't you part of that committee?
As I stated, yes, me and a Virgin from the Nyabingi order, and he had others within the aspect, as I tell you, the minister who's now Mrs. Akila Baran-Nisbet, who was the chair, but now she's a member of cabinet. She cannot be the chair, so there is a level that was supposed to be stated to have a new chair, but I tell you, it's not made publicly to let the people know what is taken to the new chair. So I'm calling on the administration to make this plea that they establish the new chair so we can see some work going. That we know that what was said from the Prime Minister himself when he gave the speech over at the National Hero Park, and he stated that we would like to see that something come out as a museum and other things in place. So I hope that they live to what he had stated. These things are serious for people as to know what was taken in the 1935, as I stated to you. Education needs to be flowing. There's a lot of information that have been left out. Even though Mr. Public Init had written a book and others who have indicated a book, but we know that other people have never get the task to say what they know of during that 1935 book is advising. And there's more to really captivate within what needs to be pursued for the youth that coming in the generation, because we really see that even in the school, we don't even highlight much unless we take a visit to some of these schools. So it's a shame to see that something that's been turned to a great task in the 1935 to come into the whole Caribbean region, and what that was to this 21st century, as we say, 2022. And we still have a monument to recognize our ancestors. Give thanks. Have a safe night.
Give thanks, my brother, as well. And I apologize for that oversight on my part. I'll follow up on that. Call you live.
Hello.
Yes, caller. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When you cutting off your cousin, I ain't telling us stupidness. When you cutting off your cousin, stop cutting off your cousin. You hear me?
I'm listening to you.
Stop cutting off your cousin. Okay.
Make a point, my brother. What is your point?
I thought to tell you what I forgot to say. I want to tell you, don't give the man to you know. Because I was told that today I hear talking, so don't give the man to them.
Of course, we never give up.
Okay, only that's all I want to tell you. And hey, I want a mango strap. I want a mango strap to carry a buckle.
Okay, my brother. I haven't seen mangoes for a long time.
Okay,
all right.
See you.
Thanks a lot.
Bye. That's very true.
Okay. Okay, my brother. Thanks for calling. At 21 before the 10 o'clock hour, for those who may have joined us for the first time, our Trade Talk is heard every Monday and Thursday from 8 in the p.m. until 10. Remember, for North America, the clocks went back, so we actually start at 7 for those in North America, and elsewhere it's an earlier time saving. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, thank you for holding. Okay, here's what. My Straight Talk family, it's 10 minutes before the 10 o'clock hour. You may have just joined us. You may have just joined me. And we looked at 3 issues for those who have just joined me. And in fact, I did give you some statistics at the beginning of the program, and I'll just give you an update that the confirmed cases as of today, the 20th of January, are 49 cases. As of today, the 20th of January. So COVID is still with us, and I'm imploring you to ensure we get vaccinated. Yes, that's one protection that keeps you from hospitalization and, of course, death. And remember to apply or use your non-pharmaceutical tools, I call them, your mask, your sanitize your hands, keep your distance if possible, and be sure to protect yourselves. Let's go back to the lines at 19 before 10. Call your line.
Thank you, Party. This is my second do. I want to congratulate Miss Motley in Barbados for victory at the polls. And I also want to congratulate her opponent, the loser, for being a state person, as they are. To congratulate Miss Motley, because it's like Dr. Simmons in 19, when it was, when Dr. Douglas win the election and Dr. Simmons lose, Dr. Simmons conceded that he was the loser, and it was incumbent on Douglas that Douglas was the winner of the country, and Dr. Simmons congratulated him and tell him good luck. But 2015, when unity government win the election and Dr. Douglas lose, I don't even know if he conceded in his heart, but he never speak out and say, well, he conceded as the loser, and congratulations to Dr. Harris. Where is his statesmanship? And in 2020, the same thing happened, he lose again. And he operated the same way. No congratulations. And up to now, he hasn't congratulated Dr. Harris as the winner, the conqueror over the political campaign. Where is his statesmanship? None of them who criticizing Dr. Harris ever come up and talk to him about that. And even in church last year, while the COVID is hot in the air, when the church service finished, before anybody exited the church door and come out, everybody like greeting people with the elbow and hand just stretch out. Dr. Harris turned to Dr. Douglas to greet him. Dr. Douglas turned back in a church building where they just had church service. And he's a lawyer, a very outspoken lawyer that's behind the radio. Tell Dr. Douglas, man, stop his stupidness. You in church, turn around and greet the man. Nobody come out and talk about that. But Dr. Harris trying everything to keep the peace. And when it comes to me, I don't care what it costs. I don't care what it costs, as long as what you're spending is to keep the peace and control the violence and murders and whatever it is. Spend it, I'll give it. Peace is peace, man. Peace, be still. Nobody want a war. But some of them on the radio station, peddling nonsense, ignorance, and war, and all kind of foolishness, trying to see if they could weaken the government and drop down the government. And they need to stop it, because if today, Team Unity government should go out of office and they take over, it's the same country, it's the same people, they're going to want to vote for them, and then they're going to want people to behave themselves and help build up the country. Well, why not do it now? Why not do it now? Okay. Well, I hear one of them say that they plan it, they're going to print shut it up, but they think they got more lyrics than me. Let it go. I come in. Good night, Patches. Have a good night.
Have a good night, my dear brother. See you at the volcano. My good friend Manny, Emmanuel Govaya, has been sending me quite a lot of messages via Facebook and is reminding me again tonight that he's in the same position of asking for an increase for the poor people in the country in respect of the amount $2,500 for over 25 years given by the Social Security to help in the burial of our people, while today it's in excess of 15,000 the cost for funeral. So Manny is saying that the $2,500, the funeral grant, I think it is called, ought to be increased. That's a reasonable position. I did say that to him privately, and I'll say it to him. Let's get up to the time. The cost to die is even higher than the cost to live. But let's go back to the lines. Caller, you are live at 14 before 10 o'clock. Yes, caller.
Hey, Patrick, good night. This is Jam Down.
My dear brother, Jam Down.
How are you, man?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
I'm good, my boy. Patrick, you're born in this country, you know. And I know you ever since. See, working for the private sector, you serve in Parliament. In Parliament, you have done something in this country where we never even see from Bradshaw, who run this country for almost 40 years. We never see a public minister perform like you. The kind of things you have done in this country, I mean, I'm grateful. We can't go against you. Could never go against you. And a warning a young lady in Newton, you know, who kind of around telling people, stop calling this, they don't, Larry bike at this show and kill it. Not this show. This show can't, this show don't go wings. He like the dove them moving around from island to island. I can't do him nothing. He's a performer. He is a performer. Patches, before I go, I want to touch the Port Authority to please go there and fix them dolphin, you know. Do not send nobody over there to well nothing. The sea blast, the teeth, the thing them where you can't see and like rotten in the steps them, the man them can't perform the duty. People got dead again like Tone and them. Is that Iowa? We know that I ain't none about the port, you know. Friend put friend. That's why me and culture them bang it down. Because I'm here. This nonsense not gonna work in Liburd, in this country. Patrick, let me show you something here. What we want in this country is people respecting one another, not talking about one another, and feel like, oh, because you hold certain position, well, you do well done. And say, oh, respect people. You know why they're getting it, sir? When you oppress the poor, that is how you get. Be careful of the things you do, and every little words you speak. You walk down the street, you run up your mouth, you try to make your brother be a prisoner or a beggar man. This is where we get him from certain people in office. And we can bang it down. Jam down will bang it down. Patrice, you be strong. And before you go, I want you to play the tape with your son. Be strong. Have a good night.
Yes, have a good night, my dear brother. Jam down. We go back to the lines. Call your line.
Jam down, you're right. You're right, Jam down. And Patrick very well know that. No boy let us.
That was short and to the point. The dolphin, those platforms in the water, for those who are pondering, that are used to moor or to tie up the vessels, that because the vessels are of a particular length that are longer than the pier, instead of stretching the pier all the way out, you put some dolphins, so the mooring lines go on to those mooring dolphins, as they're called. And some years ago, sadly, vessel capsized. Mr. Brown and my good friend Tone, as we call him, my brother, young Richard, and they went to the great beyond. He's saying that there's some complaints of the ladders. You have to climb onto the dolphin to go on top of the dolphin, so you can get those heavy lines that come from the vessels to tie the vessel and keep it alongside the pier. So if that is accurate, then the board and management of Casper ought to take heed to avoid any other catastrophe there at Port Zante ever again. The report you saw on that catastrophe with Mr. Brown and Mr. Richard was not a good report, and we don't want a recurrence of that. But as we wind down to tonight's show by Straight Talk Family, we looked at 3 issues. We looked at the ugliest J in St. Kitts and perhaps in the Caribbean. We go back to the lines or come back to that. Call you live. Yes, caller.
Patches, you know,
So,
at Straight Talk, we talk straight, you know. And we talk the truth.
that's right, the truth.
If you see these pictures of the dolphin, the country might not aware of it. Certain people might know what you're talking about. But these ladders, that man gotta go out there 4 in the morning when ships come in the morning. They stay by the dock and they leave after 12, after 10, after 11. Out there, dark. It's lonely sleeping man out there with a little light in it. And they say the light they may walk in. This takes itself to walk. Eat out from the glass. And when they tell the port master and the senior pilot that they tell them they could always stop, then I study them. Henry told me when he was there, and the workers confirmed that every complaint he makes sure he take it up to the port because it's serious business. But you see, if they would understand, police should have questioned a lot of man for doing them, you know. Anyway, Patches not going so far with it. Let me done it to you. That's the reason why the pain with these things in this young man's life, you know. It's very serious. I don't want the cabinet to hear me. If the Prime Minister listening, I want him to hear me, you know. Because they like fire, wax, they do a violence down there. And the man them can't even do the overtime on Saturday. And when they work on Sunday, they can't even get the double pay and a holiday. And I'm putting in this heavy line with rope in them. I mean, wire in them patches. Once they drop in the water, they double heavy. Pay them people, them. Have a good night, patches. This is Jam Down with Barney.
Jam Down never mince his words. And when we hear these people, we should really listen to them. But Straight Talk Family, as we tonight's programming, and Jam Down mentioned as well about boycotting Straight Talk. I've been trying to do that for over 10 years. Straight Talk is here to stay. Because Straight Talk will forever promote truth. Lies are like Ben Johnson, sprinter, but the truth is like a marathon, nice sprint, but the truth don't. Tonight we looked at 3 issues. I'll perhaps take 2 final calls and wrap for the night. I'll take my 2 final calls and wrap for the night. Just have a few minutes left, but if you are so minded to call, just ring-a-ling. We have, as I said, been receiving many messages about this DJ who is costing me every day. Don't you worry about it, because somebody sent me a WhatsApp just a moment ago. Leave him to the foot of the cross, as we say. Leave him to the foot of the cross. And for those, every time we lose a listener, we gain 2. So don't mind the good lady who's spreading all sorts of things about straight talk, the ugly man. I also spoke to the biblical instruction about biting your tongue. And as well, we spoke of the peace initiative. The peace initiative, in fact, is something, or peace initiatives are found all over the world. And they can come from neutral governments, private citizens, and from the belligerents themselves. But I'll take this call and make it my final call for the night. Caller, you're live.
Right, Mr. Liburd, President, good night. How are you doing?
I am peaceful. Sounds like my warrior from the east.
I just heard you read an email and you said someone said the 2005 need to increase because of burial expense, and if everything is going up, and I agree with that. But I want to tell them, you know how much we get here in America when someone dies? If they leave a life insurance, only $250 Social Security gain us for after the burial. $250.
Yes.
We get it. $250 we get in down here if you have somebody die. When they die and you don't do the burial, you don't bury them, you go Social Security and you get $250. That's all we get in America. So I agree, expenses going up and, things are getting expensive, and I'm not going to beat what they said, but I just letting them know what we just get here. It's only $250. When you don't do your burial, you get $250. Okay? So just let them know, that, hey, sometimes we down here, we say we are up there better, them in the Caribbean better than us. You know what I mean? $250 they give you on a check for your burial.
What's
when
the
your
cost
burial done.
of the funeral?
Yeah. $250, I'm telling you. Yes.
What's the funeral cost?
You don't care how much the person put into the system. Okay? They could walk till they drop. When they're dead, only $250 the family get in. Okay? Anyway, you have a blessed night. You stay safe. And to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, I love you all dearly. God bless you all. Bye.
God bless you, my warrior from the east. And that's the way we're going to end it for tonight, my Straight Talk family, because I'm certainly out of time. We've had a discussion tonight. We looked at the peace initiative. I didn't get many answers to my questions, but like everything else, as my friend said, and there are differences in opinion as to the method used in the peace initiative in order to curb gang violence in St. Kitts and Nevis. And we can agree that violence, in particular the homicides, have decreased substantially. It's historic. We've never seen that before, but I'm sure that we are all happy that it was introduced. We considered the biblical instructions. Say you're sorry.
We want to encourage you when you mess up. Say you are sorry and you're wrong. Just say it, move on.
Just say you're sorry. We also agreed that we must accept responsibility.
We have to move away from this idea in our country that they did it so I could do it. No. We need men and women of steel and integrity.
Yes, that's what we need in our country. We agree with that. I was a little bit at variance with the biting of your tongue, though.
As leaders, you have to bite your tongue. I bite my tongue a lot because sometimes I'm ready to just let go some real gunshots. And then I had to just bite my tongue, right? I had to bite my tongue. I have to remember that if I say that, then it will be held against Pastor Connor. Ministry will be affected. You got to remember that. A lot of times I'm in the right. I know I'm in the right. I know I'm in the right, and I want to blow off their head. But I say, how that going to play Sunday when I go up to preach and I bite my tongue?
Well, as I said, the good book says, open rebuke is better than secret love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are full. And as we wind down, I remind you as well of my friend who said that politics is war without blood. And in battle or war, you must always know what you are going up against. The opposition is a master of lies, deceit, deception, evil, destruction. And we can also conclude that opposition is also the master of death. They have no limits, no age barrier. They just do not care. They can and will use anything at their disposal to limit the government from delivering its promises. The last thing they want to do is to see the government out of office. But you were the ones who decided you wanted team unity. And don't bite your tongue about the good things that your team unity government is doing. Rebuke them who want to say otherwise. Rebuke them in the name of Jesus Christ. Because the Bible says that we can do all things through Christ who gives us strength. That's my word for the night, my story. I am not going to change it. My time is done, and I gotta run. I'm gonna make way for the mayor of St. Paul's, Theophilus Theoclat, as he comes in with his oldie goodies. But I want to thank all my guys in our conversation tonight, and as always, I want to thank you, the many callers. I want to thank you, the emailers, those on Facebook, massive, Sonia, Margaret, Logan, Alva, Cicely, Tress, and all who listen. Remember, you are the ones who make Straight Talk, and for that reason, I say a big, big thank you. We can't forget the man in the console, Theo Clark. And in the back room, Bevan Wilkinson and John James. They too make Straight Talk possible. So connect on Monday for another edition of Straight Talk. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Be good to all whom you meet. Say sorry. Speak the truth. Because only the truth can set you free. And remember, whatever your mind conceives, that you will achieve. But first of all, you just got to believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. Bye-bye. Until we connect on Monday.
In the morning, I thank God for the morning light. Give Him thanks and praises for taking me safely through the night. For the rest of food and loving care, and for my mother's breath of life that's got me here. So whatever my mind conceives, that I will achieve, you better believe.
At ZIZ, we want to take a moment to salute our small business owners and encourage you to support them. Our small business owners are always hard at work providing quality goods and services to you. They also provide employment for many and can be counted on to give back to our communities. Today and every day, we salute our small business owners and we say thank you for the opportunity to provide advertising services to you. If you're a small business, call us at 465-2621 to join our family of small business advertisers. Call us 465-2621. You'll be glad you did.
Following the COVID-19 vaccination, some people may experience side effects such as soreness at the injection site, chills, nausea, body aches, or a fever. But these symptoms go away after a few days. These side effects are a result of your immune system responding to the vaccine and are not a sign that you are sick with COVID-19. The COVID-19 vaccines will not give you COVID. When you receive your vaccine, the health worker will advise you what to take if you are experiencing any of these side effects. Remember, these mild side effects cannot compare to you not being able to share memorable moments with your family and friends if you fall gravely ill from COVID. Vaccines bring us closer. Choose to get vaccinated. A message from the Pan American Health Organization, UNICEF, and the Ministry of Health.
It's only just a phase. Once we're vaccinated, and everybody gonna be safe. Everybody gonna be safe. One kind, one people. We are roll up to roll up. Cause no man's alone. Do what's right. Alright, cause I love you. And we're in this together. My sister, my brother. I love you too much. I think it's better for us, yeah, yeah. It's better for us, yeah. I don't wanna lose you. I love you too much, yeah, yeah. It's better for us. Tell your mommy to let it roll out.
Bless up, Dejo here, and I'm doing my part in the fight against COVID-19 by following all safety protocols and most importantly, rolling up my sleeve for the vaccine. So I'm encouraging you to do the same because that's our best shot of protecting ourselves, our family, and our friends. So don't wait, vaccinate. Let's roll up to roll out.
Watch your step there, little man. That party's falling into the sea.
But Daddy, when it all slips into the sea, where will we live?
Well, son, that would take a long time. So let's not worry about that right now. Just enjoy the beach, okay?
Daddy, when Grandpa brought you to the beach, Was it slipping in then?
I can't remember, but that shed over there was not so close to the water, so I guess so.
So, Daddy, when I bring my children to the beach, will there even be a beach still? I learned all about climate change in school, and teachers said we have to change our habits or it would be even worse.
So, big man, what do you think we should do?
Really? Who is the daddy here anyway?
Okay. We will ask your teacher where she got her information, and then we'll do our own little part.
Good, because I want to keep coming to the beach with you, even when you're like 100.
Change your heart, change your habit. We the people can change how we approach the impact of climate change. A message of hope from Island Resilience, promoting a climate of change.
This is my land, my island, our home. It's time to come together to keep her forever resilient and strong.
Island Resilience, promoting a climate of change. The Climate Change Adaptation and Sustainable Land Management Initiative of the OECS Commission, funded by the European Union.
Go to islandresilience.org for more information or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Water is life, 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 life. Water is life, 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 life. Do just one thing,
Every jacko, make sure you check for leaks around your house every day. Every jacko, when brushing your teeth, don't let the water run away. Come save the water, preserve the water right now. Every jacko, save the water whenever you take in your shower. Every jacko, make saving the water your business every hour. The water right now. It's up to me and you and you and you and you. The water right now.
Do just one thing.
Will you be there when we come to play? Will you be there?
Welcome to the ICC Under-19 Cricket World Cup.
Will you be there? It's history when we coming down. The tsunami spills, excitement everywhere. What pressure? Will you be there to see our stars shine? Will you be there when we reach the fever pitch? Will you be there with the biggest fans alive? Will you be there? 24/6, I do not miss it, no.
The ICC Under-19 Men's Cricket World Cup is coming to the West Indies. Be there January 14th to February 5th. Get your free ticket at www.u19cwc.com/tickets.
Will you be there?
Reliable and responsible. Skellig is here for you. Skellig, the #1 utility provider. Innovative and powering a brighter future. Responsive, we wouldn't have it any other way. With technology that is powering tomorrow. Reliable and responsible. Skellig is here for you. Reliable and responsible. Skellig is here for you. Powering our community.
Watch the creep up. Look out! This is it. Something new, something fresh, something exciting. Jump off show on ZIZ Radio with the man Chico. Yo. Every Monday to Thursday, Chico will be in the house with the 3 to 6 minutes. So tell your neighbors, tell your friends about this exciting show on ZIZ Radio, the Jump Off Show. Every Monday to Thursday, 3 to 6. Don't miss it. While the others give you some, we give you more. Right here on ZIZ Radio. Watch the creep.
Every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., ZIZ Radio goes into overdrive